Taoiseach, I want to raise with you the issue of many of our restaurants and cafés around the country that are closing their doors, and many, many more, of course, are at tipping point. A restaurant near me, Bud's in Ballydehob, put out a post about this on social media, and the outpouring of support was just immense. And that's because, you know yourself, in Cork Southwest, when there's towns and villages, the cafe might be the absolute heart of the community where people gather, provides employment. There's so many benefits outside of it being a cafe that are difficult to put into words, but the impact on our towns and villages when these places close is absolutely devastating. And that was evident, I think, during the crash when our main streets were left kind of desolated and hollowed out, and opportunities for local employment really vanished with that. Some towns never recovered, although the hospitality sector, I think, was key in our recovery from the crash in general. And Taoiseach, we just can't see a repeat of this. I know that the government had allocated the 1.2 billion to the temporary business energy support schemes. Only 145 million of that was spent. I'm wondering what measures are you looking into to address this issue?
Thanks very much, Deputy. The cost of doing business in Ireland is very high, and it is rising. We acknowledge that. Some of that is down to increased labour costs. Some was down to increased energy costs, increased cost of supplies, and also the withdrawal of some temporary supports for businesses that simply can't go on forever. But there are things the government can do to help. So we'll inject over €250 million into small businesses between now and March 31st in the form of a grant to help them with cash flow. We're also looking at what we can do around tax warehousing to give businesses a little bit more time to pay their taxes. They do have to pay their taxes, but to give them a little bit more time to do so. And then particularly, and I think you make a very, very valid point, where a business might be the only cafe in the town, in a small village, is more than just a business competing with other businesses, has a particular social value. I think we need to look at our social enterprise model there to make sure that we can help those businesses in a different way. It's a different story if it's 3 or 4 pubs competing in a town and one closes, but when you've an enterprise that often is the only enterprise in the town and is a gathering point and a community point, I think that's quite different.
Thank you, Taoiseach.